Hello everyone, welcome to AS Online and this is Narendra. One more good news that the Punjab and Sindh Bank has released the notifications for the vacancy of local bank officer. You can see that local bank officer. So what is the number of posts and what are the important dates and what is the pattern of selections and the eligibility criteria? All these things we will see it right now. So here stay till the last, you will come to know all the facts about it and who are eligible and who are not eligible, everything you will come to know. The first, the important dates. So the application starts online from 20th of August 2025 and the window will be closed on 4th of September 2025 and there will be only one written examination and that written examination will be somewhere in the month of October. It is not mentioned on which date, but somewhere in the month of October. So the application starting is on 20th of August, the closing on 4th of September. Right, my dear friends? The next I will move on. This selection is like PO all over India? No. This is a state based selection. So that means if you are applying in Hindi belt, any of the Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh or any other Bihar, any other area. So whichever state you will apply, your posting will be on that particular state. So if you are applying for Tamil Nadu, so your posting will be only in Tamil Nadu. Not, you cannot write in Tamil Nadu and looking for a posting in Andhra Pradesh. It did not happen. So this is the total vacancies are 750. This is the officer post, local officer. Okay, and the posts are applied only on that state. If you are writing in Bihar, so whatever the number of vacancies are there in Bihar, your application will be considered for those number of vacancies, not the total number of vacancies 750. And also you should know the local language, that is Hindi. So this criteria is there. So all these breakdown of the vacancies state wise and the local language is also necessary to know. Okay, moving forward over here, what are the number of vacancies? Total 750 vacancies are there, and which state how many vacancies are there? Here you can see here that like in Andhra Pradesh there are 80. So those who are applying for in Andhra Pradesh, so they are applying for only this 80 posts, not the total 750. So coming to the Chandigarh, you have 40 posts. You can see the Gujarat, you have 100 posts. Coming to Himachal Pradesh, 30, Jharkhand 35, Karnataka 65, Maharashtra 100, Orissa 85, Pondicherry 5 and Punjab 60 and Tamil Nadu 85 and Telangana 50 and Assam 15. So that means you can apply on these states only. And when you are applying in Assam, you are supposed to know the local language of Assam, that is Assami. So this is what the breakup of the number of posts of total 750. Right, my dear friends? Moving forward over here, you are expected to know what is the eligibility criteria. So usually you know that the eligibility criteria is age and education qualification. For a local bank officer, there is one more event is placed, and that is experience. So work experience. So let's go through the age, 20 years to 30 years of the age as on 1st of August 2025. That, my dear friends. And coming to education qualifications, there is a graduation in any discipline, whether it's a BSc, BA, BCom, BTech or any other things, chartered accountant. Now coming to this experience, so here this is everyone is not eligible because of this experience. It says that for local bank officer, there should be a minimum of 18 months. There should be a minimum of 18 months work experience, and that too as a officer in a public sector bank or regional rural bank. Look at this part. As an officer in the scheduled commercial bank or the regional rural bank. So that means you should fulfill all the three criteria. I know all the people now looking for a job, they fulfill the criteria 1 and criteria 2. But everyone may not be have experience of 18 months as an officer in scheduled commercial bank or the regional rural bank. So this notification is limited to this group of people. So these are the three eligibility criteria. Moving forward here, so as I said here, you must have the proficiency of the language. As I said over here, apart from this three condition, you should have a language proficiency. Suppose if you are applying in Punjab, so you should have know how to speak, write and read in Punjabi. So the local language proficiency is important here. So if on your 10th standard, 10th standard or on 12th standard, if you have this Punjabi as one of the language and you applied for in Punjab, then there will be no language proficiency test for you. But if you are coming from Andhra Pradesh or from Karnataka and you are applying in Punjab, then those can, and this person do not have the in 10th standard or 12th standard, do not have Punjabi as one of the language, then this candidate has to, if applies in Punjab and if selected, he will have a test which is language proficiency test, in which they will check reading, writing and speaking in this particular state language. Okay, moving next over here, what kind of, suppose you have, if you have selected, so what kind of salary you are going to get? See that this is only the basic 48,480 to 85,920, that is the basic. On top of that, what all you are going to get over here? You are getting the dearness allowance, we call it as DA, is close to 55% of your basic. So you can count what comes 55% of 48,000 plus. In addition to that, you are getting the house rent allowance, and the house rent allowance is depending on the place of your posting. It could be somewhere in between 7% to 9% of your basic, based on which city you are posted. Okay. Now another component is there, city compensatory allowance. There are some cities which are of high profile. If you got selected in Delhi, then the cost of living in Delhi may be much higher than the cost of living in Assam. So in that case, your percentage of city compensation allowance will increase. So it varies state to state. And on the top of that, what are the other benefits you are going to get? You are getting the medical insurance, leave travel concession wherever you travel once in a year. So every expenditure of your travel that will be paid by the bank. That means the traveling part only, not of on the top of that your eating and all. No, your travel part it covers, and also the risk of you are getting the pension under the national pension system, NPS. So lot of other benefits are there, like conveyance allowance. Did I mention the conveyance allowance? So okay, I didn't mention the conveyance allowance. So you will have the conveyance allowance. That means the petrol, a certain liter of petrol you are eligible monthly. So on top of that, if you count the very first month, you will be getting somewhere 70,000 rupees plus in the very first month. Okay, moving the next one. Now you understand that on top of the salary, you are getting dearness allowance, house rent allowance, city compensation allowance, LFC leave travel, and on the top of that the pension under NPC, the conveyance allowance and all. Moving to the next one is this, that what is the application fees for this. So, coming to application fees for the general OBC or economically weaker section, it is 850 plus whatever the GST is applicable, and others like SC, ST and the other group, it is 100 plus whatever charges is there. Right, my dear friends. Moving forward, then what is the selection process? Okay, I am eligible according to the age, I am eligible, eligibility criteria, education, I am graduate and I have a 18 months experience as an officer in the scheduled commercial bank. Then the selection process is on the two tier, that is tier 1 you will have a computer based test, and in tier 2 you will have the personal interview. So, there is no two written examination, prelim 1 and prelim 2, no. There is only one examination will be there, that will be the main examination, the which I may call it as tier 1, and tier 2 is your personal interview. Let us see that what comes in the computer based examination, that is tier 1. So, here there are 4 sections are there. I noticed that one is English, the other one is banking knowledge, the next is general and economic awareness, and the next is the computer aptitude. Okay, let us look at the number of question comes from each section. So, here from English you are getting 30 questions with 30 marks, that means 1 question 1 mark, and in banking knowledge you will be have the 40 questions and 40 marks. They will test the banking knowledge especially over here, because one of the criteria is the 18 months experience in a bank as an officer. So, obviously you must have gone through the lot of things in the banking. So, therefore, here in this exam you have the banking knowledge of 40 questions 40 marks. Okay. Coming to general and economic awareness, that is 30 questions 30 marks. Okay. And coming to the last one, computer aptitude, which is 20 questions and 20 marks. So, there is a sectional cutoff for each test. For example, in English test you have 30 marks, 30 minutes. For banking knowledge 40 question 40 marks and 40 minutes. And for general and economic awareness 30 questions 30 marks and 30 minutes. So, is the case of computer, that is 20 question 20 minutes and 20 marks, 20 minutes, 20 marks and 20 minutes. That is the time cutoff. We call it as sectional time cutoff. Right, my dear friends. The total number of questions 120, total number of marks is 120, and the total time is also 120 minutes, that is 2 hours. So, and please remember that 1/4 of every wrong answer will have a penalty, negative marks, that is penalty for answering wrong. So, if you give a wrong answer, 0.25 marks will be reduced from your total score. Okay. Moving the next one over here, that is when your final selection takes place and how your interview, I missed that part, that is once you wrote the written examination, there will be a personal interview. Right. If you are top on the list of the required number of people by the bank, then you will have a personal interview. And coming to the selection process, so here that 70% will be taken by your CBT, computer based test, of which 100 and total marks, 120 questions, 120 marks and 120 minutes. So, from there the 70% weightage will be taken, whatever your score will be, and that is 30% will be taken from your interview score. So, that is how the weightage will be. The written examination has the highest percentage. The out of total 100, the 70% will be from CBT and CBT1 computer based test, and 30% will be from your interview. Right, my friends, you understood that what is the selection process. Now let's go through what is the syllabus when you talk about the English language. The syllabus is nothing but what are the syllabus is there, either it is an SSC or banking examination or RRB examination, the same syllabus. Reading comprehension will be there, close test, fillers, spotting error, the sentence improvement, para jumbling, vocabulary, these all which comes in the banking exams, whether it's a clerk or PO or RRB exams or SSC exam, the same is there. Now coming to banking knowledge, so the banking and financial awareness and monetary policy, banking regulation, financial market, banking terminology. So the questions will be from these areas, which anyone who works for 18 months in a bank as an officer, so must get familiar with those things. Okay, coming to the general awareness and economic awareness, what will be there in that CBT? Current affairs will be there, statistic GK will be there, the Indian economy, the question based on budget, the question based on economic survey. So the questions will come general awareness and economy. The question comes from these areas. And finally, the computer aptitude. So how many questions for computer aptitude? 20 questions, 20 marks and 20 minutes. So what will be there over here? The history of computer. The questions may come from these areas. History of computer, the computer fundamentals, hardwares and softwares, and the operating system, MS Office and networking. So from these areas the question will come. So for the tier 1, that is CBT 1, that's discussed. Personal interview, you know, they wanted to know you, the depth of your knowledge, your attitude, your personality and many more things. That is why we call it as personal interview. And the final selections will be based on 30:70, 30%, 70% will be from written exam, 30% will be from your interview. So coming to the last one over here, then final selection, which already I mentioned that is 70:30. So I am not going to repeat this one. Let's come to this language proficiency test. So in the language proficiency test, I already discussed this one. The candidate must have a proficiency, that means the reading, writing and speaking of the local language. If you are applying for Andhra Pradesh, you must know how to speak, write and read in Telugu. So that is what the language proficiency test will be. And for those people who do not have in 10th standard or in 12th standard Telugu as a language, for them in Andhra Pradesh there will be a language proficiency test for them. For the people who studied in Andhra in 10th and 12th standard, they have the Telugu as one of the languages, then they don't need to write this language proficiency test at the time of interview. Moving on, you have to show the support of your 10th standard or 12th standard mark sheet, in which it is clearly mentioned that from that state wherever you are applying, so you have studied that particular language. Okay, my friends, moving on, next, your civil score is also important. So those who are writing the examination, the civil score is expected to be 680 plus. So that is your financial strength or the status which shows. So these all are the important some documents are there where the civil score is one of the criteria. It should not be less than 680. Coming to the last part over here, your role and responsibility. While you are working there, your role will be NBT acquisitions and the sales target and productions. Right, my dear friends? So, promotional activity, MIS, documentations for the loans and the other related activities in the bank. And cross selling, if the customer visit to your bank to open, take a loan, you can ask them to open a saving bank account or recurring deposit account, or if any fixed deposit account. So, it is called cross selling. So, this will be your role and responsibility in the bank. Coming to the next one here, how you will apply for this. So, here this is the website given to us. You can write down, it is very easy. That is Punjab and Sindh Bank. There is no space. Punjab and Sindh Bank, all are the small letter, .co.in. There you go to the career and current opportunity. From there, step by step, you will get the guidance of how to apply for it. Okay. And the last part, upload your resume and photos, signature and all other things during the applications, and download the final application which you have submitted, so that you will have a record of your own. Right, my dear friends? And if you want any kind of queries or anything, so you you don't have any other option other than communication via registered email. Whatever the email you put, through that email only you can communicate. Okay. The next one, no postal communication. You can't write the letter, post them in the speed post or ordinary post. No, no postal communication. The next is regularly keep visiting the bank website, so that you will come to know any changes is there, any announcement is there in the change of the date of examination or the date of interview. So, keep updating yourself by visiting website of Punjab and Sindh Bank in the periodical way. So, that is all about the local bank officer of Punjab and Sindh Bank. The total vacancy 750. So, the selection criteria is only two. One is the tier 1 where the CBT will be there, other one is the interview. Most important point you need to remember, in summary I say that for whichever state you are applying, that state language you must be knowing, reading, writing and speaking. Now, or if you have in 10th or 12th standard, your mark sheet, that particular state language is there, you don't need to write down the language proficiency test. That's all, my dear friend, from my side, and wish you all the best to all of you.